Okay, so welcome to Marie's Paper Lab, and I'm just going to make some of these tags. Like right here, I'm showing you, there's some tags that I've been making. Also been using them as bookmarks as well. So now I've taken a few pages from some music books, hymn books, excuse me, and I've been using 2 pages per tag. Now, as you can see on where my left hand is, that edge there is torn, and so I like that edge. So I'm going to use that edge on both of these pieces of paper and make it so you can see both pages. Now I'm just going to glue these down here. And I'm trying to get the glue so that it's just, between the pages and it doesn't stick out on that part. But this art glitter glue, the little nib end gets kind of gummed up with stuff, and so I have to poke it with a pin. But I had stopped using a pin in there. The one that I got kept bending, and then the little end came off and stuff. And so up in the left-hand corner, you can see I've got a little green earplug. And I just took the scissors and snipped it a little bit. And so that's what I used to cover it. But right here, what I'm doing is I took some tweezers that I have, and I'm kind of just sort of bending the edges. I kind of like it all ruffled up a little bit and bent up and looking a little bit aged. So I just used the bone folder to flatten it down, give a nice good crease there. And now I think I'm looking for a picture of some kind. Oh yeah, I tear this off thinking I was going to use it, but I end up not using it. I decide to go with an antique photo. So, here we go. So I'm looking through there because the photos are different colors. And I'm looking for one, trying to think what is going to look good and is the right size to fit on there without me having to trim too much of it off. I believe that I take a few of them, select a couple, and I sort of audition them on the tag to see which one I think is going to look the best for kind of the look that I'm going through. So I like the torn edges on the sides. So then that's why I'm using that little tiny metal ruler. I think I decide on the black one. Oh, maybe not. Oh, that's right. I'm going to do 2 tags in this. So I do one with each of those 2 photos. So here I'm just trying to find a piece of paper that I can add, and I decide to go with a piece of white blank paper, and I just move it around a few times trying to figure out which way I like it the best. Then I layer the picture over top of it. Now I crinkled the picture some to give it a bit of more of sort of an aged look. What that'll mean is that the sides are not glued down, but most of the glue will be towards the center. Now here I'm taking out some number stamps. You can see it's Stampers Anonymous by Tim Holtz, and that is the number of what the collection is with that one. So I like the numbers, and so I decided to go with that number, both in the nice stamped and then the kind of the cast off stamp with what ink is left with it. Now I'm thinking that this needs some type of a little topper, like a little tag top type thingy to kind of finish off the top. And so I decided to go with this kind of an off-white sort of cream looking, it's like a cotton lace that I get from the Dollar Tree. Then I use the Tim Holtz tiny attacher stapler, and I staple that. Now it's kind of bumpy on the back there. I was showing with my fingers. I take the pliers and just flatten it down a little bit so it doesn't get caught on anything. Then I write my name on it, that it's handmade by Marie's Paper Lab. So now I'm going to do the other one, and I'm pretty much going to do the same thing, except what I want to do here is I want to trim the sides off, and so that when I fold it, it can be a little bit more narrow. So I'm doing the same thing here. Fold both of them in half, and then I'll be putting glue on the insides to glue them down. Now, when I glue them, I don't put glue right close to the edges, like on either end or on the sides, because I kind of like it that it's loose and it can get caught on things and kind of get crinkled even more, giving it more of an aged look. Now here I'm taking the ends that I have cut off, and I'm thinking that I'm going to use just the top parts where the numbers are. Because in this music book, it was a hymn book, and all the hymns are numbered on the top left-hand corner and the top right-hand corner. So I'm going to apply a piece of white paper. Now this is just like a copy paper, so it's real thin. Sometimes you can see the text through the copy paper, and in this case you can just a little bit. It doesn't really show up here on the screen, but I'm okay with that. Now I'm taking off a little bit here on this picture to make it a little bit shorter, and also take off that little white part. Now I'm going through these papers because I've got some trimmings. I've made some of these before, like in the beginning you saw that I had made other ones. Well, I pull off all these little numbers, and some of them I end up having to trim them a few times to get them even smaller. But I think I get about 5 maybe. I don't remember how many there was, 5 or 6, somewhere around there. You can see my desk is cluttered, and it stays like this most all the time. Sometimes I will, like if I start working on an entirely different project that doesn't have where I need to take out different papers, then I will clean up the papers that I have on my desk that are with the theme or whatever that I was working with. Like right now, I'm liking pink roses and pink flowers, pink and white, and very kind of Victorian and romantic is sort of what I've been doing a lot of. But sometimes I will clean all that up, and then I'll go into the kind of off-white and more Tim Holtz sort of style look. Now here I was going to do the edges with this stamp, but then I decided not to. And I just kind of give them a little nudge on the top, and it puts just a little bit of a shimmer. So again, I only applied glue in the center, and here too, I'm only putting glue more towards the center with these, leaving the edges so that they can get kind of bunched up if they catch on something and get folded and look even older. Now when I glued those down, I actually had decided to layer them on top of each other a little bit more than I did when I was kind of laying out my composition. So now I've got that little white space up there. And I'm thinking maybe I'll put some washi tape up there or something. So I'm selecting out, looking at a few of them and trying to find some that I think will, might go. And I think I select about 4 out, and then I take them and sort of audition them. This one here has flowers on it. Now these washi tapes are the ones I got these just as it was a bundle pack in Hobby Lobby. They all came together. I think they were like $15 or something. But there's a nice variety in a variety of colors. So now I take a small piece for the bottom, and I decide that it needs a little bit of glue on it before I put it down, and I stick those there. Now by mostly, like with that photograph there, by mostly putting glue in the center, it leaves the edges free and open like that, so that you can actually tuck something underneath there if you decide you want to put something underneath. And then here I'm just putting some lace on the top, again with the stapler, just as a little tab. And then I'll take the pliers and squeeze it down nice and flat. And that's about it. So thank you, ladies. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.